All right, we'll start with a few Zoom questions for Nick. Let's start with Rich Garcella. Nick, just look at that screen up there.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Rich. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Nick, I know you're close to a lot of the guys on the team, and I'm sure Bo's one of them. What is your opinion about the situation that he's been put in, the NCAA calendar, and obviously he spoke to it when he made his announcement. I'm just wondering what your take is on how this affects Bo and other players.
I mean, obviously it's a tough situation. I think of Bo as, one of the best teammates I've ever had, a selfless individual, contributed a lot to our team, both on and off the field, and obviously he was in a tough situation. As far as my opinion on the transfer portal window and all that stuff, I mean, obviously the schedule is tricky for guys and for teams. Obviously for us, we're focused on SMU and focused on, taking care of business, and it's tough when they have windows like that allow guys to have to make, personal decisions that impact the team and everything. So it's a tough situation, obviously for him, and I only wish him the best.
Let's go to Tyler Donahue.
Nick, we got, obviously Andy Kodalnicki put it out that he's planning on returning in 2025. You've got a year under your belt with him. What does this program gain from him sticking in Happy Valley through 2025?
I think it's amazing. He's a great teacher, obviously a great offensive coordinator, play caller and everything, but he's a great teacher. And I think it's awesome for the guys that are, returning, that are coming back, and the new guys coming in because they get to experience his offense, his philosophy of teaching, and his offense. It's really, really engaging for me since I've been here. This is my third offensive coordinator, and I've just been, so fortunate to be around him and learn new nuances to offense and learn, new philosophies. And, he's one of the best coaches I've ever had. So I'm excited for everybody who gets to get coached by him.
We'll go to questions in the room in the front. Bob.
Nick, how are you?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you you had some pretty big shoes to fill at the start of the year. Penn State had two really good centers before you in Juice and Hunter. Was it ever a little daunting just thinking about trying to step into that role and maybe try and perform the way that they both are playing in the NFL now? And I just also wanted to ask you, when you look at the progress of the offensive line in general, not just yourself, whether it's Rucci or Sal, who are the guys you think that have really, really kind of answered the bell down the stretch?
Absolutely. To answer your first question, absolutely not. It didn't feel daunting at all. Quite honestly, my whole life I've been having to fulfill somebody else's shoes, and to be honest, they were big shoes, figuratively and literally. So no, I didn't really feel any pressure. This is exactly why I came here, why I came to Penn State, to play, to start, to contribute in a serious manner. And when that is asked of you, you don't get hyped for the moment and start to backpedal. You get up and you do what you're supposed to do for the guys in the room, for the guys that are in the team meeting room, for everybody and that's involved with this program. So no. Secondly, for the guys on the offensive line, I know you said specifically, but the entire offensive line has continued to develop amazingly. When I think of where we started at to where we're at now, even like given our last game, I'm excited for what we have going in store. A lot of confidence in this group. Especially with picking up pressures, especially in the run game too. That's what we want as offensive linemen. We want to put the game on our back. We want to have a strong run game that obviously supports with a strong pass protection game for Drew and the running backs to make plays. And, when we do our job, it helps guys use their potential, use their talents to help our team.
In the back. Allie. Back left.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. In the announcement for your award, Coach Franklin spoke and said, if I had a son, I'd want him to be Nick Dawkins. What does that mean to you? Obviously, that coach-player relationship stems back all the way to high school as they recruit you. And also, when you reflect on how this program has made you part of the man you are today, how much does Penn State mean to you?
When you hear Coach Franklin talk about you in that manner, it kind of just confirms and validates that I made the right decision. I know in this day and age with NIL and everything, transfer portal, relationships are something that are starting to become lost in college football. But that's why I came to Penn State. I came to Penn State to play for Coach Franklin. The kind of man he is, the coach he is, and the general person that he is the reason why I came to Penn State. And through my years here, through my 5 years here, I've been so fortunate to every day be confirmed in that sentiment, because he is exactly the man, that I strive to be as well. So that is, why I came to Penn State, because of Coach Franklin. And as far as my growth as a man through Penn State, how much it means to me, Penn State is so personal to me, because I'm a first-generation college student. Obviously, my dad was able to play in the NBA, but he went straight from high school to NBA, and my mom wasn't able to go to college. So this is an important step for my family. It's part of my journey, not just people that came before me, but my personal journey, being a college graduate and going to get my master's degree and everything. And this community that I've been able to be a part of and cultivate and foster, and the connections and the people that I met, the family that I grew here, has just been so instrumental in me being the best version that I can and be the best version of myself every single day. So it's so important to me, and I love this school. I love this community.
In the middle over here, Max.
Hey, Nick, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Pretty similar to you guys against Oregon. SMU got down big against Clemson, came back, made it a game, lost on a field goal. What's your mindset through a week of preparation when you have the idea in the back of your mind that this could turn into a bit of a track meet?
I don't know. I don't know if I really had that mindset of a track meet, but I mean, football, it's not boxing. It's a 4-quarter game. You can't just land one punch and then it's knockout and it's over. So, we're always prepared to play 4 quarters. They're a good team. Obviously, in the college football playoff, a lot of respect for those guys, especially up front on the defensive line. They're a good team. So, yeah, prepare to go the distance with these guys. And, if you're definitely going to bring it, it's college football, it's do or die, win or go home. So it's going to be very important, to be ready to play 4 quarters. But, yeah, I mean, their style of defense and offense, they're very quick, a lot of stunts and everything like that. So I'm excited to get the opportunity to play against these guys.
Back middle, Todd.
Hey, Nick, you mentioned how much you've changed as a person over the 5 years. The game has completely changed, as well as a lot of the off-the-field stuff. Did you envision some of the things happening in your 5-year career that's happened off the field, whether it's the NIL, whether now you are competing in a playoff game, tournament-style game? What are some of the changes that jump out to you over your career and your anticipation of taking the field on Saturday?
No way. Did not expect this. I was just talking with Tyler Elson about it. Since we got here, so we came in 2020, COVID happened, shortened season. 2021, NIL happened. It's like the Wild Wild West. Then there's an extended college football playoff to 12 teams. Now there's, I guess, a collective bargaining agreement or revenue sharing or whatever is coming to college football. No, this is not what I initially signed up for when I signed my letter of intent. But it's exciting. It's crazy to be on the precipice of a lot of its history and a lot of change in college football. So it's cool. I mean, I benefited from a lot of the change that's happened too. Here we are about to play SMU in Beaver Stadium. Didn't expect that. Did not expect that at all. So it's awesome. It's cool to be a part of history. And I'm excited for even the more changes that are going to come even when I'm done playing.
Somewhere.
In the middle, Seth.
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
With Bo's departure, obviously you'd think that Ethan Grunkmeyer and Jackson Smollett could potentially earn some more reps here. We haven't seen them in games yet. From what you've seen in practice, do you feel they're ready to go if their name is called? And what are some highlights maybe from them that we haven't seen?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both of those guys, they're both confident individuals, both take preparation very seriously, always getting extra work in. It's been cool to see Grunk's development, especially through, camp and going into this season. He's been doing a great job on the development squad for us. I always see clips of him in our team meeting, making plays downfield, just airing the ball out and also being able to move around with his feet. But, he's a great kid. And Jax, obviously, has been here for a while, and Jax has been doing exactly what he's supposed to do every single day, day in and day out. And he's a great example of what it is to be a Penn State football player. So, both of those guys, I think they'd absolutely be ready if their number is called. And, if that's what we expect of them, I know that's what they expect of themselves as well.
Over here on the right, Mark.
Nick, we all know about your dad, but what can you tell us about your mom and what she's meant to you in terms of your development as a person, a player, a student, the philanthropy, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. My mom is one of the toughest individuals that I've ever been able and be blessed to be around. She was tough on me. That's why, I try to be the best person I can be every single day. But obviously, that's why school and off the field is so important to me, because she used to scare of a life out of me when it came time for my grades in high school. She used to have this thing set up called home access that, if I got lower than 70% on something, she would get alerted on it. So it would be times where, it was always Sunday night at 7 p.m. And I'd just be, playing a game or, hanging out, and I get yelled downstairs. I already knew what time it was. I got tired of that real quick. And but obviously she's motivated me to be the best version. My mom and my sister are the reason why I am who I am. Everything I do, every step I take, every action is to make sure and to ensure that they never have to work again because they earn that right. They work hard every single day. The sacrifices that my mom has made for me to be where I'm at, losing her best friend, losing her husband, and having to step up and be both my mom and my dad at a young age. I have so much respect and so much love for my mom. And again, everything that I do is to make sure that she never, ever in her life will have to do anything unless she wants to do it.
Audrey.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for talking with us today. I know obviously there's no moral victory in any of this, but is there any kind of confidence boost that you guys take from the way you were able to move the ball against Oregon as an offense? Because their defense really hadn't been exposed like you guys did in that game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's still a loss. That's tough. But for us, as an offensive line, I mean, definitely there were highlights and stuff of our potential and what we could do. And yeah, I would say that there's a bit of a confidence in that. But you know, our expectation is that's what we're supposed to do every single game. So I don't think it matters the opponent that we played against. It more so was just about the idea of what we were doing. No matter who it could have been, we could have been playing against the Monstars from Space Jam or something like that. Like, as long as we were doing what we were supposed to do and handling our business and picking up our assignments, I think that's a confidence booster, but it's just kind of seeing the visualization of what we can do and what we can be as an offensive line.
In the middle, Sauber.
Hey, Nick. Obviously, you've played with a lot of great players in your time at Penn State. What makes Tyler Warren different from a lot of the greats? And do you have a favorite memory of him that stands out in your time as his teammate?
Yeah, I would say what makes Tyler Warren what makes him so different is his demeanor. He's just so relaxed about everything he does. He plays with intentionality. He obviously plays tough and he plays physical. But, you know, after he makes a play, you know, gets hyped for the moment and then right back settle. You can see that especially after the USC game. You see a bunch of plays he makes, gets hyped and then gets right back to normal, right back to the process. He's so process-oriented and oriented. And, you know, one thing about him too, and I guess like a memory, is he's a super athlete. I don't think people acknowledge that as much as, I mean, obviously he can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he can do everything. But like as a physical athlete, he is an insane athlete. We used to play basketball at Martin Hall. Me, Olu, and Tyler Warren had like a 3-on-3 squad running. And dude, he can shoot, he can dunk, he can get rebounds. Like, I'm serious. He's a serious athlete. Like, he is a super athlete. And I just recall, you know, a lot of random students having a bad day, probably came out, tried to shoot some hoops at Martin, played a couple pickup games, and getting windmill dunked on by Tyler Warren as a welcome, a freshman welcome. So they had their welcome to college football moment as well, some random students. So, yeah, absolutely, just a super athlete that he is.
Got time for two more. Over here on the left, John.
Nick, I want to ask you about pickup hoops so bad now, but I'll just keep it on Saturday. Knowing everything that's on the line, knowing how close you are with this community, James Franklin said you're the mayor of State College. What is your message to alumni, fans, students, the Penn State community worldwide about the impact that they can have Saturday during the game?
Yeah, I mean, our fans obviously are the best in the nation. Indy Nation is the best in the nation, and they can have a direct impact on this game. You know, the 12th men out there, the adverse conditions that they create for other offenses is amazing. And they play a direct impact in the game. And, you know, that's the benefit of home field advantage. I believe home field advantage is absolutely through and through a thing, especially with Beaver Stadium, with the way the sound transmits in here. You have a direct impact on the game, so hope to see you loud and proud.
Last question, Max.
Thanks again, Nick. To follow up on Ethan, I remember when Drew was a freshman, they were going into his second year, I think. There was kind of a time where I think the words that were used, or maybe he found his big boy voice when he was commanding a huddle and everything. Not sure how much you've been in a huddle with Ethan, but where is he at from that perspective as a guy who hasn't seen a snap yet, is in his first year on campus and growing into that role?
Yeah, that's absolutely a thing. Not even just for quarterbacks, for everybody. It's definitely it's there. His confidence is superb, and seeing how he's grown, not only just as a football player but as a man. I think he's ready to command the huddle. You can see it. I mean, when you first come in as a freshman, you're still kind of questioning yourself a little bit, maybe on some plays and making sure you're saying the right thing. But I think now the way he speaks with conviction is a testament to his growth. And, you know, just seeing how he plays football, he plays it natural. I think a lot of us come in a little robotic, trying to have the most perfect technique in the world and the perfect movements and everything, but he's just a natural ball player, and he goes out and does that. And I think that's what's so blessed about our development squad is you're going against the best defense in the country every single week, every single practice, and that only is just going to jumpstart, and it's going to be a catalyst for your development. And I've definitely seen it. I've definitely seen it in his personality, and, you know, he's going to be a great guy here.
Thanks, Nick.